What's going on, pimps? If you didn't have another sexual assault allegation on your 2025 bingo cards, well, you're pretty much a fool for that one. It feels like a new sexual assault allegation drops every time a new Fortnite skin comes out, like when a new show comes out. And Fortnite has that inevitable crossover where they combine to make a skin. You bet there's a sexual assault allegation coming right around the corner. Now, I did go over the situation on stream, but if you allow me to be Jim to give you a little rundown right here of the situation. Basically, the allegation is against Joe. There could have been one against Murr also, but I didn't see anything about that. The article that I clicked on was only about Joe, so we're going to be going over him. But he was accused by two women of sexual assault, one of which has put her face and name, more like TikTok account to it. The other lady is an employee, or probably now a former employee. I don't imagine she'd be sticking around if she got sexually assaulted. Now the first one, she had a video of one of her butt cheeks having been bruised by Joe allegedly biting her on that cheek, apparently. I know, like I said, we'll get into it. And then the third thing was some more text messages, which could be whatever that is. It could be whatever that is. If I get to prison and they're gonna be like, all right, go up to Diddy's cell and take the baby oil out of his hand. And then the camera feed gets cut off and they're like, Murr? Come in, Murr. Can we get medical to cell D5, please? Gotta have a fun time with P. Diddy. Depends on what prison he goes to. Wow, that's freaking lock him up and throw away the key. Haven't even read the article yet and we're sentencing this man to freaking... Oh my goodness. Impractical Joker's alum, Joe Gatto, has been accused of sexual misconduct by two women. The first accuser, a TikTok user with the handle Juicy B, that Gatto 48 sexually assaulted her when she was 19. I got sexually assaulted by Joe Gatto, the impractical Joker. The Impractical Joker. Juicy B alleged in a Thursday, March 20th video. She also shared a photo of her bruised buttocks, claiming that Gatto had given her the bruise with his teeth. Although I might look the same, I am from the future. And if you're wondering, yes, you are going to shit your pants, but I'm not going to tell you when. The first lady, the first accuser, Juicy B, did post two or three videos, two of which are text message videos, and the one is a 10-minute long lore dive into everything that had happened that basically sums up the story. She claimed that he invited her back to his hotel room at 2:30 a.m. and then sexually assaulted her. Gatto denied committing sexual assault in a statement shared with Page 6 on Saturday, March 22nd. I have used poor judgment and as a result have violated the trust of people I love most. But anyone who knows me at all knows full well that I wouldn't assault anyone. He ain't any Joker, he's the Joker. The next public appearance he makes, he's got the freaking red lipstick liner, the extended lip scars. You want to know how I got these assault allegations? I'm glad they credited this picture being Joe. It's not just some random middle-aged man up there. Let's see what this lady posted about on her TikTok about it. The comments. Girl, you were the one creeping me out. I don't see anything wrong in the text. Girl, be so for real. You're not doing this to Joe Gatto. He didn't even seem interested at all. Why are you messaging him like that? You instigated it, hella. People said the messages were flirty. I don't see any flirting in these messages. Just a fan excited to talk to a celeb. She's lying. Go watch the Josie video. Crazy to see you in Milwaukee. Sorry for interrupting your breakfast. It was so nice meeting you today. I'm going to try and get tickets for your show tonight. Awesome to meet you for sure. Come. It'll be fun. Just bought 2 tickets. Now I have to find someone to come with me. Can't wait. Awesome. I'll leave 2 meet and greet passes for you at the box office under your name so you can come back and say hello. Have fun. Thank you so much. I couldn't wish for a better first comedy show. So excited. Okay, and then she's at the show, backstage pass or whatever, and meets him. So happy you loved it, and sorry I made you cry. No worries, all good. Oh, all good tears anyway. Okay, good. You look great in the picture. So that's good. Thank you. Think you're the star of the picture, though. Star of the picture, debatable. The story replies agree with me. Glad I'm giving you the street cred. I'd rather have real friends than street cred anyway. Just gotta show off what people missed. Fuck yes. What a day. Fuck yes. Hope the rest of your night is equally epic. Just drinking and hanging out. Hope yours is too. Okay. Those are the majority of the text messages. There's one more video she made about like text messages, and it's a screenshot of Joe messaging her apparently, and he turned on vanish mode. She said that he turned on vanish mode, which I do find a little suspicious. Like, why would you need to do that, especially after the prior messages did not have vanish mode on? One thing I do have to say about the whole vanish mode on thing is that apparently it's like messages vanish after they're seen. So if you did see them, if we're taking screenshots of everything else before, why are we not taking screenshots of stuff that he sent, especially after vanish mode? It seems like if you were going to take screenshots of anything, those would have been it. She does later go on to describe in her like 10-minute long explanation video that she was drunk on that night, which I have two opinions about, one in her favor, one in Joe's favor. One, the one in her favor being she was drunk and then she was taken advantage of by Joe. And then the other side of it would be for Joe is that if this happened 2 years ago and she was drunk, then how much can we trust her side of things? But as far as the text messages themselves, the first two that we just saw in those like clips that I just showed, I get like nothing. I feel like there's nothing there. The only thing, and I said it on stream, was the you look good or like you look great, so that's good one. And I genuinely feel like that was pretty much just a compliment. Like there was no malware behind that. You know, there was nothing infecting the firmware of the Xbox. Getting in there and like uploading a freaking Trojan virus that makes me think he meant anything malicious by that. I can understand how the continuation, like this initial text thing, that it's like that's like nothing. That's just like, hey, glad you're coming to the show, whatever. Come backstage, take some pictures, meet and greet, whatever. The only discernible, this isn't even like flirtatious, but like friendly, somewhat casual thing that I could see here is, okay, good, you look great in the picture. Or not even the okay, good part, but because it's just like its own sentence, but you look great in the picture. And then like, you do the first one with like, hey, we got the backstage passes, cool, come by, we'll meet, whatever, talk. And then we have like the post like, hey, glad you had a good time, whatever. And then the continuation past that part is like they're having a conversation ish now. But even so, from what we can see here, it seems like that bit just kind of ends pretty quickly. And Joe didn't even respond, at least as far as we know, to this message. So he just kind of wished her the best right there. And now we get to the butt cheek portion. And no, I'm not talking about frickin' Rigby from Regular Show becoming the one cheek wonder or anything like that. Juicy B accuses Joe of biting her butt cheek. And man, you know, I really don't even know what to say about that. She shows a picture of the bruise from like the bite, like the bite of 87 or something, and Joe Gatto was going after some teenager's cheeks. But from what it looks like, it looks like way too spread out to have been a bite. And I also say this in the stream, but like it looks like someone like slapped her butt like with their hand. It looks like more of a hand mark than like a mouth mark. I obviously can't like see any teeth, mouth shaped marks, but it looks like Joe had to have been some sort of omniscient, like eldritch horror being, because yeah, it looks like the bruise is so spread out. It would have looked like he had to like unhinge his jaw and like latch onto that thing and then come down with it, right? And I wouldn't really expect, again, like what catches me here is the size of the bruise as well, as opposed to like a normal human mouth, unless like he turned into a freaking like Titan halfway through whatever happened in that hotel room and then he did it. It's like the size of it, but like if you were to bite somebody, yeah, maybe there would be bruising, but not to that size, I don't think. And of course I'm just speculating, but also I feel like it would cause bleeding more than it would cause a bruise, right? So as far as that by itself, I don't really I'm not really on board with that. I don't find that very convincing. Now, I also get into her 10-minute long video here, and before I play it, I just want to say there's like a I say it in the clip, but like there's a peppy vibe to it. I don't know exactly how to describe it, but more of like a quirky, like she even says this in the video, like, oh well, let's get right into let's get right into this, and it's like, don't you want to treat this with a little more like formality and like seriousness, right? And I also make a point to this allegation coming in the form of a TikTok. Now I know online there's like always allegations that come out on like YouTube, Instagram, whatever it could be, but like even then, I feel like it just takes points away or like takes credibility away, because why are we doing this through a TikTok video? Like hire a lawyer, gather evidence. With everything that she's been saying too, it seems so just not like if you want this to go well, like if you want him to pay for what he did, especially like legally, like I think you would, especially if he like did sexually assault two people, like sexually assault one, sexually harass the other, whatever. Maybe do a little better than a TikTok video. Maybe get like lawyers involved, like I said, and go through the proper avenues of the legal system to get this done, instead of an informal, seemingly like unscripted, unrehearsed TikTok video that you just kind of put together, you know, on whatever day you chose to record it. He bit your butt cheek. I of course I'm not like a forensic like analysis. I can't freaking turn on like my Iron Man optical analysis, my Batman Telltale thing, and like draw lines from like the dead body with entrails like flung all over the wall to like the dead cop with freaking the scourge virus, dead from the scourge virus, and like link each thing and recreate like this epic fight scene that happened in the hotel room that led to Joe allegedly biting her butt cheek. But I don't I've like I would expect like a mouth tooth shaped marks, not a bruise. If this actually did happen. Oh my goodness, it's 10 minutes. I didn't even know you could post 10-minute long TikToks. I'm a Pepper. At least she's a Dr. Pepper fan. That's good.
A lot of
That's points towards her. Not towards the validity of her accusations, but that's just points towards her as a person. I can't. I want to like try and psychoanalyze it, but like let's get right into it. There's like a peppy vibe to it, I guess.
I have some, so here's my time to shine.
Like here's my time to shine. I don't know. I think if you were to do this, if you're accusing, and it like, you know, if it's a celebrity too, right? You can't just be saying anything. So as she describes in the video how she met Joe, she was at this like restaurant hotel thing, I forget exactly, but she was there with her family and everybody recognized Joe walking through like the lobby or the area that they were eating in, and so they decided to take pictures. Now, here's one of where my biggest issues comes with from her testimony here, and yes, I'm kind of like Phoenix Wright, Ace Attorneying this right now, with the contradictions. I'm gonna press every statement. But she says, and I'll play the clip obviously, but she says that her sister was a way bigger Impractical Jokers fan than she was, and that she was only a fan because of her sister. And then later on in the video, she describes that like Joe started talking about the show with them, and she didn't know about the show, and that makes sense if she wasn't a fan, but she wanted to go anyway. And then later it gets even more confusing, because she's like, I wanted to go, but I couldn't find a friend to go with, so I asked Joe for tickets, which like, what would it have mattered if like he gave you tickets if you still didn't have anybody to go with? But beyond that, she says that she went anyway. And again, why, if you weren't that big of an Impractical Jokers fan? I mean, like, yeah, I guess you could have been a fan of the comedy like show, but she also says that she didn't even know about the show anyway. So like, why?
here's my sister. My sister is a way bigger fan than me. I'm literally only an Impractical Jokers fan because of her. I couldn't find a friend to go with me. So I had said sir, because he had liked my Instagram story and whatnot. So I was like, okay, maybe I can get some free tickets because...
And if she said she wasn't even that big of an Impractical Jokers fan, then why does she care about going? Especially since her sister can't even go either.
I've ever met in my life. And it low-key worked.
It's weird because she says at the table everybody was fangirling and all that. But then she says she's not that big of an Impractical Jokers fan. Or like she is one, just not as big as her sister, I guess. So there's varying degrees to that.
In the comedy show, why does he look so small?
You're standing in the back. Come on, what are you doing? What are we talking about?
Teeny. I went home and I had a crazy roommate at the time, and so I was drinking not because of her, just because I was drinking, because I like to drink anyway. And she kind of was half convincing me to do it, like, if you don't do it, you're gonna regret it, like, do it for the plot, blah, blah, blah. So I was drunk, whatever.
Oh my god, dude. How would you justify it? Like, how do you explain drunkenly going to some guy you don't know, like just because he's a famous celebrity, like you've seen him like on TV or online, you still don't know him. Seen messages will disappear when you close the chat. If you can't do the press the button for me to trick to get to 7, I'll come down and not get out of the elevator. You just get in, let me know when you get here. She goes home and gets drunk, fine, whatever, and then her friend convinces her to do it for the plot. You could have chose any other wording and I wouldn't be like, I'm not even angry. I feel like I'm somebody's father. I'm not even angry. I'm just disappointed. Like, you got convinced to go over to, again, like I said, pretty much a stranger's house. Like, just because celebrities are celebrities and you've seen them on TV, cool, whatever. You are still strangers. You should be just as cautious of them as they probably are of you, whatever, right? Like, he's a stranger, dog. What are you going to his hotel for? And you've been convinced to do it for the plot? I hope this story makes sense at some point. Otherwise, that you're gonna need some plot armor for a plot that freaking twisted and confusing. We get into a point here against Joe, I think, and that's when the vanishing mode thing turns on. Now, she says that he turned it on. I don't know, based on the screenshot that she showed, if that confirms that he was the one who did it. And again, another point against her here, if you took a screenshot of that, assuming, I don't know if you were drunk when you took that screenshot or not, but if she got that message and then a roommate convinces her to do it for the plot, I would be thinking that's around the same kind of like time frame here, so maybe she was. But either way, she did take pictures all throughout the night, as she will show. So why are we taking pictures of that initial message but none of the stuff that follows to give your story a little bit more credibility of him like giving you the directions that you say he does to get to where you need to go? And also, I don't know who was on the other side of that text message, if that was Joe or not. It could have been freaking Confucius based on the way that text was worded, because like maybe he was drunk too. I don't know. That's just like a speculation, but that makes no sense. I don't know what he was freaking talking about. Clearly he's trying to like mumble out something, I think, about like how to get into the hotel or like what room to get. But he just like, he's speaking like Yoda who's trying to talk forwards, but he also has a concussion. Like, I get that text would be more fitting for like a hotel and like elevators and stuff like that. She was 19, she's drunk and like doing it for the plot or whatever.
I walk in the door, somebody opens the door for me, whatever, and they're like asking me, like, I forget what they asked me. I don't know, I was drunk, I don't know. But,
and that's also a big problem. If you were drunk, then like how much can we trust your side, your memory? If it's what, 2025 when these are coming out, Oh wait, this was posted March. Oh, okay. I think that's March 20th, not March 2020. But like she's this happened in 2023, correct? So we gotta trust the judgment, and we don't know if there's like been a case going on since then. If she like recounted these events to lawyers post this happening relatively recently after it happened, all the way back in 2023. But we're like 2 years later now, because it is March. It's 2 years later now. You were drunk on that night, and then we gotta trust your recounting of events
The elevator.
in this form of telling it as well from a TikTok video. All right, I just want to make a few more points here before I let the rest of the clips play out. She brings up the expression of "don't meet your heroes," and very quickly I was like, you had to call BS on that immediately, number one, because before she already said that she wasn't that big of an Impractical Jokers fan and she didn't know about the comedy show. So like, did you didn't really care who Joe Gatto was, and she herself also says that Joe Gatto isn't her hero, and the expression "don't meet your hero" in this case, she didn't. And you know what, I used the word rape in the clip, but we'll go with sexual assault to be more accurate here. Don't meet your heroes, otherwise you might get sexually assaulted. Like, is that the message here? And especially, oh my bad, and especially don't meet somebody who's not even your actual hero. And then after that, she actually tries to go for like a profound quote, and then I made the joke like, we don't need one here. This isn't, we're not here for profound quotes. We're here to like get your side of the story from what's going on. And then there's like an after credit scene where she's like, oh, by the way, some things I didn't mention. She says that she had just turned 19, which from like a age difference perspective, yeah, that's definitely weird. But from a legal standpoint, the youngest I believe in the US that like consent laws go down to is 16. So she's an adult at that point, legally speaking, and it's not like she's stupid, at least from like a IQ intelligence. Like, she wasn't unaware of, she doesn't seem to be unaware of what happened. So from that standpoint, like, that doesn't really matter. To me, that rings the bells of like the freshly 19 or the freshly 18 thing from the George not found or whatever his name is from the Minecraft problem.
But yeah, then some stuff happened. I don't want to go into the details about everything, but I'm not going to show the picture that I posted on my account before of moi. Don't meet your stars.
Don't meet your stars, otherwise you might get raped. Like, what?
He wasn't my star, but like, don't dig your foot where it doesn't belong. Let's just say that.
We didn't need a profound quote or anything. We didn't need one.
Finally, like, I've been wanting to tell people this for so long, and I've like tried in different ways, come to the realization that if I do say something, that I'm really saying something.
That's, you don't like, then don't. Then not don't as in don't ever say anything, but like, go to a lawyer, go to people who know how to handle these things in a formal and responsible way so that you can like gather evidence.
Oh, some things I forgot to mention. This was right after I turned 19. And right after he got back together with his wife. Oh, and he knew everything about me when I went there. My family members' names, my dogs' names. It was a little creepy. I didn't really like it. But that's what...
Well, then who told him? Who told him that information?
famous people can do. So, yeah. Thank you.
So he just freaking anonymous your entire life? Why would he need the name of your dogs and stuff? Also, my other concern here is like, why is he talking like, I use poor judgment and as a result have violated the trust of the people I love most? Like, what do you mean you use poor judgment? You wouldn't assault anybody, but you use poor judgment. And then there's stuff about like him entering into an inpatient program. What even is that exactly? type of treatment where individuals stay at a facility for a period to receive continuous care and support, often for conditions like substance abuse, addiction, mental health. Yeah. That strikes me as a little curious, a little suspicious. I feel like he's already kind of not taking the fall for like assault specifically, but like you violated the trust of the people like that who care about you the most or whatever. You're voluntarily going into an inpatient program to work on yourself. Like, all right, to end things off here, I criticize Joe for like at the very least the way he worded some of his statements. They do come across pretty suspicious to me. The main things are like he says he violated the trust of those closest around him, and of course I'm like paraphrasing there. And the other thing is that he entered an inpatient program. So couple thoughts there, at least as far as the one is violating the trust of the people around him. I find that to be suspicious. Like, what trust are you talking about? Like the fans? Like, what part of the trust of which people who trust you did you violate? How did you exercise poor judgment? Like, you, at least from what we can tell from the messages, you guys met at the thing. That's how you guys connected on Instagram. You messaged about like tickets and stuff, and then met backstage, and then kind of had like a outro, if you will, where they just kind of like summed up the experience and like, oh, cool, glad you came. Cool, glad that I did come. It was great, right? And as far as what maybe we could link poor judgment to, could be the whole vanish mode message. I feel like that could use some explaining. But of course, like we read further on in the article, he entered an inpatient program. So I, at least as far as I researched, you can still be like prosecuted if this lady even decides to press charges. And also at the end of the video, like Juicy says, she said that if she was coming on here to say something, she wanted to make sure that she did say something. And I feel like one of the biggest outcomes of these allegations is that's always the easiest thing to do, is just say something, because you can pretty much say anything. And of course it's always having to do with some people with some sort of online following or like a celebrity or whatever. And of course there's always going to be that initial uproar of rage, being like, oh, did he actually do this? And oh, is he actually like somebody who sexually harassed somebody or this or that or whatever? And like that can damage people and their like reputations. And that's kind of the thing about coming out formally with it, because as we've seen, again, Katie Bugs and George Not Found, she kind of got blasted after George Not Found clapped back with his freaking parry. Take it to a lawyer, at the very least get consulted or something about it, right? Maybe things aren't as they seem, right? And you could be like, hey, with what you have here, at least like legally speaking and possibly publicly speaking, this isn't enough to convince anybody, and this isn't like hard proof, right? Same with like Juicy on her side. Like maybe you go through what you've gone through, and like maybe she does have evidence. Maybe she's already planning a lawsuit or whatever. But like putting this stuff out there so informally and just kind of willy-nilly, it seems like, I feel like would only damage your statement and reputation in this case, because there's so little like linking hard evidence and proof that it's like, just get a lawyer, dog. Just do the smart thing. Like if it is true and he did do these things, then like go through the formal path of it and get proper justice, instead of muddying the water with just words and and just throwing these out here, right? That's it though. Goodbye.